Hello, my students. Today I am going to teach you the grade 9, chapter number 1, number patterns. And this is belonging to your grade 9 syllabus first term. Yes, this lesson is done as per request of one of my subscribers. Yes, I'm happy to teach you and happy that you asked me a lesson. Okay, right. So let's go to the lesson today. Number patterns, right? Number patterns mean like you learn these number patterns from your smaller classes. For example, the number patterns 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a number pattern, very simple number pattern that you learn from the beginning, because you can see that each numbers are the natural numbers having continuous numbers, right? Or other than that, the second thing what you learn is the even numbers, very common familiar one for you, even numbers. You can see it's a pattern. The pattern means there is a common difference between one number to the other. So you can say 2, then 4, then 6. So each has a common difference. So earlier you can count. When you were small, you count 2. Then you put 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, then 7, 8. So you know that there is a difference of 1 in each pattern. So here also in grade 9, you are learning this kind of patterns, number patterns with a common difference, with a certain common difference. So in this lesson, the first thing that you should learn is what is this common difference meant by, right? How to find the common difference in a number pattern. When you are given a number pattern, to find this common difference, let me write it as CD. When you want to find the common difference, you should take any term in this pattern except the first term. You can take any term in this pattern. So let me tell you, I like number 6, right? Any term in the number pattern, and you have to subtract the previous term. 6, the previous term is 4. Then you can get the common difference is 2. So the common difference here is 2. So here we got 1, because you know when we counted 2, 4, like in mind we kept a number and we counted the other number out. So then you can write down common difference from 4 to 2, that is 4 minus 2 is 2, 6 to 4, 6 minus 4 is 2, 8 to 6, 8 minus 6 is 2. Likewise, if you want to find the next number, another 2 should be added. 8, then you have right 8, 9, and then 10, which means that 10 minus 8 is equal to 2. So you can find the common difference of any number pattern by subtracting the previous term from another term of the pattern, but not the first term. Definitely you can't use the first term. In some patterns it gets wrong. Like in this pattern it's not like that. It works, but in some pattern, some number patterns, you don't get that same answer. So let me take another example of another number pattern for you to show the common difference more clearly. um, 17, 12, 7, 2, minus 3 dot dot. Okay, so now what is the common difference? You can understand that 17 to 12, the number has decreased. 12 to 7, again decreased. 7 to 2, it's decreased. But how much is decreased? That's a problem for us. So common difference can be found using any term in the number pattern. Let me take 7. 7 minus the previous term. Okay, what is the previous term now here? Minus 12. 7 minus 12. So what is 7 minus 12 here? 12 minus 7, everyone know. 12 minus 7 is plus 5. So 7 minus 12 is minus 5. So the common difference is minus 5. Right? So this is the way of finding the common difference of a number pattern. The second topic that you have to learn in this subject is something called as general term. So have you heard this before? General term. Right, I introduce you to this. Like general term means something like Tn, the general term. Nth term we are finding, general term, right? For example, let me consider a number pattern 5, 11, 17, 23, and some other numbers. So the first term here is T1. First term means T1, 5. Second term here is T2, 11. Third term here is T3, 17. So this is called as the terms of the number pattern. So general term means what is the common term, that we call it as the nth, Tn. The nth term is called as Tn. Tn is the nth term. So this is the general term. So you should be able to construct your own number pattern when a So how do we find the number sequence when the general term is given? Now, general term is given means finding the number pattern is very easy, right? In this lesson, you have only few motives, few objectives. As a student of grade 9, you should be able to develop the general term of a number pattern, and you should be able to solve problems related to number patterns, and you have to be able to write down the general term by observing the number pattern. These three simple objectives only there. So let me first of all fulfill the first one. When you are given the general term, for example, this is one general term. They are giving you this, and they will ask you, find the first three terms, find the 20th term, find which term is this one, find which term is that one, like that questions. Only those questions are possible. So very simple, because you know what are the questions they will ask and all the possible ways. If you understand the lesson, understand this part, it's very easy to fulfill that. Okay. Now, if I ask you what is the first term of such a number pattern, listen carefully. T1, I'm going to find the first term. What did I do here? Instead of n, I put 1. So instead of n here, I can put 1 plus 3. Okay. First of all, you know that in BODMAS they say, first you have to solve the multiplication. So 2 times 1 is 2. 2 plus 3, you are getting 5. So 5 is the first term of this number pattern. So we are going to make a number pattern now. Okay, I'm going to find the second term of this number pattern. 2 multiply by, instead of n, I write 2 plus 3. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 plus 3, that is equal to 7. That is the second term of this number pattern. Similarly, I'm going to find the third term of this number pattern now. 2 multiplied by n means 3 here plus 3. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 3, you are getting 9. So the third term is 9. So fourth term, what is the fourth term? Now I can do from my mind itself. 2 times 4, 8. 8 plus 3. So you are getting 11. So first 4 terms of the number pattern are taken here. Did you understand? Suddenly they will ask you, right? If you can find the 20th term, okay, we can find. Even the 100th term I can find when I have the general term with me. So 20th term I can find as 20 here and plus 3, you are getting 43 here. So the 20th term is 43. Clear? But suppose when they ask you, okay, fine, now you find which term will give you 123. That means they are saying that value of Tn is 123. They are asking which term. Is it the first, second, third, 40th, 100th, 150th? Which term is giving 123? In such a question, what you have to do? Equalize Tn equal, put the general term of the equation, and then you take this value is given as what? 123. So I can write 123 here, 2n plus 3. Now 123, I have to keep n in one side. So what am I doing? To remove this plus 3, I subtract 3 from both the sides. Then I am getting 123 minus 3. From when I subtract plus 3 from this side, it gets removed. Then that is equal to 2n. Now 123 minus 3 is 120. That is equal to 2n. 2 pence are equal to 120. Something like that. 2n is equal to 120. Therefore, what is n? If you want to find n, you have to divide both sides by 2. So that n will get isolated and you will get the answer as 120 divided by 2, that is equal to 60. So I can say 60th term will give you what? 123. 60th term will give you 123. Let me explain it to you once again. If they are asking you which term, that means you have to equalize that Tn to that particular value and put the general term. find the value for n by substituting the given value for that general term. Then try to isolate n. Isolate means keep n in one side and take the numbers to the other side and find the value for n. You can check your answer whether it is right or wrong. Right, let's see whether 60th term is giving us 123. Okay, T60, is it giving 123? Let's see. 2 times 60 plus 3, that is 120 plus 3. Of course, yes, T60 is giving 123. That means 60th term is only giving us 123. Similarly, sometimes they ask algebraical terms. Which term, right? They're asking you find the n plus 1th term. N plus 1th term means instead of n. First term means we put 1. Second term we put 2. Third term we put 3. 20th term we put 20. So n plus 1th term means n plus 1 here, 2 and n plus 1 plus 3. So you are getting here multiplication 2n plus 2 plus 3. These are numerals. So you can add them together where you get 2n plus 5. Therefore, n plus 1th term is 2n plus 5. So don't worry that you don't have a value for n, because they asked to find in terms of n. Because if suppose if they have given where n is equal to 3, something like that, if they have given, you can substitute n as 3 and get the answer in numeral form as well. So this question is very common in your exam paper. So try to get motivated with that part and try to understand that, and let's practice more questions for us to know this. Right? Now I'll go for another example. If one example is not clear, no worries, you can go with the second example. Try to understand, pay your attention. That's all what you have to do. Let me take a general term, 56 minus 4n. This is a general term, right? They're asking you to find, let's say, the first 3 terms of the number pattern, right? If I want to find the first term, I put n as 1, 56 doesn't change, minus 4 times 1. Write down this within brackets. You will get confused because you have to solve it first. So 56 minus 4, that is 52. So I can get the answer as the first term 52. Second term 56 minus 4 times, and instead of n I put 2. Then I get 56 minus 8. So what do you get here? 48 as the second term. Likewise, you can find the third term also, right? So third term is 56 minus 4n. That is 56 minus 4 times 3, that is 12. So 56 minus 12, what do you get? 44, third term. So simple. See how it's easy. And if you want to find another term somewhere so far, for example, let's say 12th term, right? No worries. Instead of n, put 12. And here 56 minus 4 times 12. What is 4 times 12 for you? 4 times 12 is 48. So 56 minus 48, what do you get? 56 minus 48 is 8 here. The 12th term will be definitely 8. Right? Now, sometimes they ask you some different question to prove whether this number is a number of the pattern or whether this number is not a number of this pattern. How do you do that case, right? Now, I'm telling you, show that number 0 is one of the term of this number pattern. How can we prove that? 0 is a term of this number pattern. Do you agree with that? We can't directly tell it. We have to prove it. So they are saying Tn is equal to 56 minus 4n. They are saying that 0 is a term, but we don't know which term. Suppose if you solve this and get a whole number for value n, that means definitely 0 is a term of this number pattern. But suppose when you solve this and you get n as a fraction or a decimal, then this number 0 is not a number of this number pattern. So let's see what we are getting. Okay, right. I'm taking the number 56 here. What should I do for that? This is already positive. I have to subtract from both the sides. So 0 minus 56 equal minus 4n, right? Now, I don't like negatives. Always try to be positive. Everything will be fulfilled. So what I do, I shuffle both sides. If I shuffle, what happens? This comes to this side and become positive, which is called as this. And this comes to this side and becomes positive. So I'm getting 56 is equal to 4n. Right, now to make n alone, you know this is a multiplication. If you want to isolate that, then you have to do the opposite of that is division. Then you are getting n is equal to how much? 14, which means the 14th term is giving you 0. See how you found whole number. So that means 0 is a term of this number pattern. Now, similarly, we'll prove that a number called 18. We'll prove that number 18 is not belonging to this number pattern. How do we do that? As we did 0 only. For 0, we proved that it is a number belonging to this number pattern. And for 18, we are going to prove it is not belonging to this number pattern. So we write down 18 here and we'll see whether we get n as a whole number or not. So as I did before, I take this negative to positive side, this side to make it positive. 56 I leave here. This positive I carry here, it becomes negative. So 56 minus 18. Now you have to subtract that, right? So 16 minus 8 is 8 and 4 minus 1 is 3. So you are getting 38 is equal to 4n. To make n alone, you divide both sides by 4 and n is equal to 38 is not divisible by 4. So we get a mixed fraction. 4 into 9, 36 and 2. If you simplify this, you get 9.5. In decimals, you can get, 9.5. So when you are getting a decimal or a fraction, that means it doesn't belong to this number pattern. So since n is this kind of a fraction, a mixed fraction, 18 doesn't belong to the number pattern 56 minus 4n. So this is very easy. Only these type of possible questions that you can get from this part of this lesson when they are given the general term. Okay, now we'll go to our second part. That is, when they have given the number pattern, how can you find the general term? Now, that is called as obtaining expression for the general term. For example, let's take 6, 12, 18, 24, and 30. So this is a very familiar number pattern for you. What is this? The 6 times table, or we can say the first 5 multiples of the table 6. Right now you can understand how have we obtained this first term, right? We'll make the general term. We'll make the general term, but before that, let's see how is the first term formed, right? First term is a multiple of 6. Can you understand? Multiple of 6. So 6 is the first term. Second term is 12. That is how second term came. First term multiplied by 2. Third term, first term multiplied by 3. So what is the first term here? 6. 6 times 2, 6 times 3. What is the general term now? 6. First term multiplied by general term. Third term 3, second term 2, general term n. That means the general term is Tn equal, right? Tn equal the first term, that is 6, right? But here we don't put just 6, we write 6n, and you can multiply 6n. Why do we multiply that? N means the term. First term means 6 times 1, first term. Second term means 6 times 2. Third term means 6 times 3. Fourth term 6 times 4. Nth term 6 times n, that is 6n. Now this is very similar to almost all the multiples of multiple patterns. That means if you are given 5 times table, general term for 5 times table will be 5n. 4 times table, 4n. 2 times table, 2n. 6 times table, 6n. So general term for the multiples of the times table, or what we call these multiplication tables, it will be the same number times the n. But it differs for some other number patterns. Let's see that also. Right. Now I'll take a number pattern 4, 8, 12, 16. Now this is what times table? 4 times table. So what will be the answer for that? Of course, that will be 4n, right? So let's take a different one. 15, 19, 23 and 27. Okay. First term is 15. Second term 19. How do you find the difference now? First of all, find the common difference. 19 minus 15. Okay, I told you not to take the first term. Here I don't think it will harm, but never mind. Let's take the term 23 minus 19. Yes, that is better. Previous term and the first term, I told you how to find common difference, right? So 23 minus 19, what do you get? Okay, 4. Difference is 4. Common difference is 4. How do you build up the general term? Listen very carefully. Write down the common difference. Since you are finding the general term, write 4n. Okay, listen carefully. Common difference multiplied by general term n, right? Nth term. Now, if I want the first term to be 15, can 4 times 1 make 15? Definitely, it's a no. 4 times 1 is 4. To make 15, how many more do you need? 15 minus 4, how many do you need? Another 11. Another 11 should be added to this. So I add 11. What is my general formula? 4n plus 11. I'll check whether it is correct. T1 equal 4 multiplied by 1 plus 11. That is 4 plus 11, 15. T2 equal 4 multiplied by 2. Second term plus 11. Let's see whether I'm getting 19. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 plus 11. Yes, I'm getting 19. That means the general term that I made was correct, right? Because how did I make it? First, I found the common difference using the knowledge that we learn how to find common difference. Then add the remaining amount that you want to be added. You add them and make the general term. This is very easy now, right? Okay, let's take another equation. I'll give you another explanation. If it's a pattern like, 10, 7, 4, and some other numbers, common difference. Common difference is, okay, how to subtract 4 minus 7. 4 minus 7, how to subtract? Okay, never mind. 7 minus 4 is 3. 4 minus 7 is minus 3. Then general term will be common difference you write down. Put the n right. We'll see whether we are getting first term. Okay, minus 3 times 1 is minus 3, but I want plus 10. So if I want to get plus 10, how much more should I add then? If I need to get plus 10, how many more should I add? First term plus the common difference. Why do I do this? Listen carefully. This is negative. So how many more should I add? I have minus 3. Negative 3 I have. How much more positives I need to make this as plus 10? At the first term and the common difference without thinking about the symbol. 10 plus 3 is 13. So you add 13 for this. If you add 13 for this, you are getting the answer minus 3 plus 13. Most of the students don't know this part, how to solve it. Yes, this is directed numbers that you have to learn in grade 8. Right? Minus 3 plus 13 means you are having 13 rupees in your pocket. Right? You are having 13 rupees in your pocket and you have to pay your friend 3 rupees of a money. How do? You will take 3 rupees from your pocket and give it to your friend. Your debt is off. But what is remaining inside your pocket? That is your money. So that is positive plus 10. You are getting plus 10. That's how we get the answer. That means general term will be minus 3n plus add the value 13. So we'll see whether this formula works to the second term. Right. Second term, common difference minus 3. Second term means 2. How much more should we add as we found? That is plus 13. 3 times 2 is 6. Minus into plus is minus. Plus 13. What is 13 minus 6? Positive is larger than negative. Answer will come in positive. 13 minus 6 means you are getting 7. So we got the second term also. So when you're having the common difference with a negative value, no worries. Just write down the common difference multiplied by n, and to find how much more you have to add or subtract, add the first term and the common difference without considering the symbol, then you add it there and check whether you are obtaining all the values of that given number pattern, right?
How to solve questions related to word problems for number patterns. So we are going to discuss exercise 1.3 here. So here the first question number 1, they have given some matchsticks here. You can see that's a pattern arranged. So they're asking to complete the table given. So in the figure number 1, you can see 4 matchsticks. Figure number 2, you can see 9 matchsticks. Figure number 3, there are how many? You can't count it. We'll put it blank. Another blank. So first figure is simple to count. You can see 4 matchsticks are there. So we have to find the number of matchsticks needed to create the third and the fourth figure. And also in the Roman number 1, they are telling to find out how many matchsticks are required to construct the 20th figure. So let's see how to do this. Yes. Here see, look at this common difference. Common difference can be found, right? 9 minus 4. You're getting 5. That common difference, now general term will form a general term first of all, right? General term is Tn. So I can write 5. Nth term means 5n and minus or plus something, right? Minus or plus something, we don't know. So we'll do a small, testing, right? First term, let's say, first term. I can find the first term, 5 multiplied by 1, first term. 5 times 1 is 5. By my first term is 4. No? So if I want to get 4, I have to subtract 1. That means 5 minus 1 is equal to 4. So what did I do? From the product of the common difference and the first term, I subtracted 1. So if I want to find the nth term, if I need to find the nth term, from the product of the common difference and the nth term, I should subtract 1. This is my general term. General term, right? So using this general term, we are going to find out the second term. Second term is already there, I know. But let's see whether it's coming from this one. T2 is equal to 5 multiplied by, now not 1, okay? Second term, no, 2 minus 1. So you are getting 10 minus 1, 9. Yes, we are getting that answer. That means our general term is correct. Now we can find any number of terms because we made our general term. So let's find the third and the fourth term and the 20th term. T3 is equal to 5 multiplied by 3 minus 1, that is equal to 15 minus 1, 14. And T4 is equal to 5 multiplied by 4 minus 1, that is equal to 19. And Roman number 1 says T20 equal 5 multiplied by 20 minus 1, that is equal to 100 minus 1, 99 matchsticks are there in the 20th figure. So the next question, Roman number 2, they are asking in which pattern, in which term you have 219 matchsticks. In other words, I can tell for 99 matchsticks, what is the term? 20th term. For 19 matchsticks, 4th term. For 14 matchsticks, 3rd term. Likewise, for 219 matchsticks, that means Tn we don't know, n we don't know, but we know the answer, that is 219. So we can find it easily. 219 is Tn. So I can write down 219 equal 5n minus 1. This one only Tn, okay? The given term. So I can now solve this easily. 219 plus 1 is 220, right? How plus 1 came? You know that in grade 8 you're learning, you're carrying this to this side. Now 220 divided by 5 is equal to n. Therefore, n is equal to 4, 5. 45th term. 45th term will give you 219 matchsticks to make the pattern of this question. Now let's show that for Roman number 3, They are saying that if you make a pattern using 75 matchsticks, one matchstick will remain. Right, let's see this. Tn equal 5n minus 1. 75 matchsticks. 5n, we don't know. 5n minus 1. 75 plus 1 equal 5n. 76 equal 5n. 76 divided by 5 equal, what is the answer? 76 divided by 5, 1, 5 point. You're getting a decimal. You're getting a decimal answer, right? So 15 point, you're getting here 2, 15.2 like. So it's a fraction or decimal. So when there is a fraction or decimal, then it is not a term. It is not in the number pattern, right? It is not in the number pattern. So remember that. So with this statement, with this answer, you can prove that one matchstick is remaining when you use 75 matchsticks to do this. Now let's discuss the question number 2 of your exercise. A worker cuts pieces of rods of different length from iron rods which are 5 meters in length in order to build a gate by welding pieces together. The length of the shortest piece of iron rod that is cut is 15 centimeter. The shortest is 15, and that all the rods are in 5 meter lengths. So that means all the other pieces are cut off. The difference in the length between two successive pieces is 10 centimeter. The two successive pieces difference is 10 centimeter. So I can write 15 plus 10. Next one is 25. 25 plus 10, 35. 35 plus 10, 45. So this is centimeters. The whole length of the rod is 5 meters, right? Right. The length of the shortest 3 pieces already done. 4 pieces I have written here. Right. Find the length of the 20th piece when arranged in the ascending order of the length starting from the shortest. Okay, 20th piece. What is the 20th piece? To find that one, you have to find the general term. So let me tell you the general term is equal to, now common difference. Okay, first we'll find the common difference. Common difference is 35 minus 25, that is equal to 10. Then general term equal 10 multiplied by n, 10n, okay. 10n, we don't know how much to add, how much to subtract. So we have to do a testing. Okay, if this is 1, 10 times 1 is 10, but my first term is not 10, it's 15. 10 times 1 is 10, 10 plus 5 is 15, right? 10 times 2 is 20, 20 plus 5 is 25. 10 times 3 is 30, 30 plus 5, 35. That means for my general term, I should add 5. So using this general term, I can find T20, the 20th term, 10 times 20 plus 5. You are getting 205. That is the that is the length of the 20th piece. Show that a 5 meter long rod will not be sufficient to cut the 50th piece. 50th piece is how much? We'll find T50. Right? T50 is 10 times 50 plus 5. 505. 505 centimeter. So they are telling this 5 meter long rod will not be enough to cut 505 centimeter. Is that true? Yes, definitely it's true, because we have only 5 meter. 5 meters means 500 centimeter. But this is 505. Extra 5 is there. So what happens? This is not sufficient. 5 meter long rod is not sufficient if you want to cut the 50th piece, because you need extra 5 centimeters. See how easy, right? Now let's go to the next. The next question. The seats in an outdoor stadium arranged for a drama in 15 rows according to a pattern with a common difference. First row consists of 9, second row 12, and third row 15 seats, right? Okay, how many seats are in total in the first 5 rows? Now we have to find that. So first of all, you should find the common difference, that is equal to 15 minus 12. You know that 3. So general term should be found, common difference multiplied by n. 3 times n. 3 times 1, 3. But we have 9. To make 9, we need another 6. 3 times 2, 6. 6 plus 6, 12. 3 times 3, 9. 9 plus 6, 15. Likewise, this is the general term. So we are going to find out the fourth and the fifth. T4 equal 3 times 4 plus 6. That is 24 plus 6, you are getting 30. T5 equal 3 times T5 equal 3 times 5 plus 6. 15 plus 6, that is 20. Yeah, 21. Here, not 30. Well, yeah, right. Okay. Now, how many seats are in the 15th row? Roman number 2. T15. General term is there, so now easy. Just multiply and add, right? So 3 times 15, you get the value, add it for 6. So you are getting 51, right? 51. Right. Now show that 10th row has 4 times number of seats in first row. So for that, we have to find out how many are there in the 10th row. 3 times 10 plus 6. You are getting 36. 36 is 4 times the first row. Is that true? Yes. T1 is equal to 9. T4 is equal to 9 times 4. That is 36. So it is 4 times the first row. Which row consists of 51? They have given the seats. Which row they are asking? N we should find. So let's see how to find that. Which row consists? Tn equal 51. They have given. So 3 51 equal 51 minus, you will get 5 equal sides. You are getting n equal 15. So the 15th row, that means the last row only consisting of 51 seats. This is how you have to find the nth term. So how easy these questions now? If you know how to build up, if you know how to find the common difference first, that is a first step. Second step, right, multiply it by the nth term and check how many you have to add, how many you have to subtract and stuff. Right, then arrange your general formula. If you have your general term, you can find out any term and you can find out which term gives that particular value as well. So these questions are enough discussing for you all to understand the number patterns lesson. Right, so hope you understood this lesson, and let's meet up with another lesson as well. Please subscribe my channel, and thanks for watching.